Hey, you guys. Nice to see you. I'm offering a free Sunday study hall this Sunday, June 15th. And the question we're going to ask and explore and answer together is, are you an unconscious priestess? So I wanted to take a moment with you, just a quick moment to um, clarify what I mean by that so that you can know whether or not you're curious about the answer to that question. So, are you an unconscious priestess? What I would say, so I'm about to start her mystery school for the 10th year. It's been a decade. So, in addition to now 3 decades of my own journey in these different realms and in this kind of cultivation of a path, I've also now been witness to hundreds of women over the past decade in this same journey. And what I've started to notice are patterns and themes, and one of them is that a lot of times the most relief that women find in the school, whether it's a wisdom teaching there or a practice that we do or just a way that we're sharing, a lot of times the most relief they find is when they understand deeply that something that's been happening in their life, a way that they've been engaging intimately, or something that's been playing out inside their being, or in the way that they work in the world, or in their sexual nature, in so many different ways, in the way that they're parenting, when they realize that all the ways in which they've been trying to understand this, what's their attachment style, what happened in their past, the millions of ways in which people turn toward, all right, what's happening with me and how can I unravel that a little bit. A lot of times there's this deep, unmet understanding that is what they're trying to do is serve the sacred. What they're tuning into is the sacred. These are women who are attuned to something that is a little bit more unseen, that is ancient, that they know instinctively, but don't see reflected in their world, or that they yearn for instinctively, but aren't finding or aren't skillfully eliciting. It's this whole journey that many women are having, which is that the way that I'm offering it is that they're unconscious priestesses, meaning that a lot of us are, and you can love that word, hate that word, it doesn't matter. The word itself doesn't is not the word. What it means is that there's a way in which you were made to serve the sacred. You are attuned to the sacred. You have yearnings for and sacred needs for things that other people don't seem to need, or at least don't yearn for in the way that you do. And it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't make you special or weird or broken. It just makes you a woman who is attuned to the sacred. And arguably, in a broad stroke way, we could say there used to be a more kind of cross culturally, across the world, across time, there used to be a more explicitly acknowledged sacred role for woman. We could say it's priestess. It's there. It's a very it's a very broad term. We are going to get into some of what does that even mean, literally, historically, and in a real way, rather than just an archetypal way when we talk on Sunday. But mostly, what we're going to be focusing on Sunday is: are you that? Is that part of what you're up to? And because you don't know that that's what you're doing, then first of all, you're not able to do it as well as you could. And second of all, you're not able then to take care of yourself in the way that you need to. And third of all, possibly you feel exiled or strange or alone or confused. The mystery school is a body of deep feminine sensibilities and kind of importantly skillful means. How do you be what you are if you are a woman who is attuned to the sacred? Many of you, so on one hand we're saying, okay, maybe you're priestessing, essentially you're tending to or attempting to tend to the sacred or the subtle in any given situation or in your life, and but unconsciously, meaning you're not consciously naming that to yourself, and you're also not necessarily joined with the ancient knowing that helps all of us do that in a good way, right? Both in a good way in terms of doing it well, and also making sure that we're okay, you know, that we are taking care of ourselves in that. The other aspect of unconscious priestess is possibly you are aware already and you already have named that this is something that you do, and maybe you've named it as I'm a healer, I'm a temple dancer, I'm a sex worker. There are all these things. I'm a I'm a minister, or I mean, there are so many roles of priestess. They really are broad, but maybe in your way, you've already named that for yourself. Oh, I'm a guide, or you serve, or you tend to the earth and you deeply listen to the earth, right? It goes on and on, all the roles of priestess, but maybe you've already named that for yourself. But because of not having really trustworthy sisterhood around that and really trustworthy eldership or just community around the fellowship around that, it can be very hard to really see and understand where the kind of where the pitfalls are. Like, where do priestesses or women in those roles tend to go unconscious, or tend to, what things tend to go around the side or out the side? In what ways do we tend to um, in what ways do we need the wisdom stream, right? This is, when you're talking about really holding some level of deep feminine potency, you're talking about holding power, and beauty and grace and magnetism and influence and all of these things. And if you ever hold power of any kind, there'll be rights and responsibilities related to that. And there will be also ways of both exalting that and serving the world through it, or misusing it. And those all often happen on a spectrum of consciousness, which we already know just from being human beings. So the other possibility of being an unconscious priestess is just being one who you just you deserve and need more fellowship. You need somewhere where you can shamelessly look at what you're up to, how things are working out, where things aren't quite what they should be. If you're really if you're really in your alignment, look at it, be able to kind of pull it apart and realign and sort yourself out and do what we all do, which is we keep growing and we keep working our integrity and we keep working our congruency by sorting out where we're in the shadows, right? And clarifying what we're up to. So that's what's coming up. That's what I'm welcoming you to. Are you an unconscious priestess? Is it time for you to understand what it is that you're actually doing and get all of the support and beauty and wisdom and fellowship that you need and require around that? Is it time for you? Do you want to deepen in fellowship with what you already know you're doing? Places where you're not fulfilled or you're not feeling as healthy and sustained in what you're doing, or where the fruits of what you're up to are not quite what you want them to be. They're not matching up to your intentions. Join us. It's a free Sunday study hall. It's June 15th, and we're going to be getting into all sorts of things that I'm pretty excited about. We'll be an hour together in teaching and a little bit of practice, and then we'll be a half hour or more where you can we'll just see how all this lands, and I'll be able to get from you kind of your reflections, your thoughts, questions. We'll be able to really spend some time together asking and answering this question. Are you an unconscious priestess? Let's see. Bye.